Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about everything new Veho drivers must know. So while Veho is a solid opportunity for some people, for others it could be less lucrative if they don't know what to expect going into it. So with that said, I want to go over everything new drivers must know, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that I'm going to be going over is very market dependent, and what applies to me in my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you need to know as a new driver is that you have to opt out of arbitration. Arbitration is something within your contract which prevents you from being able to sue them, and instead of going through a normal judge, you go through an arbitrator, and an arbitrator is paid for by the company in which you're suing. So if you get wrongfully deactivated, they pay for a arbitrator to decide whether or not you should be reactivated. And if they're paying for it, that means that arbitrator can potentially sway the opinion of what happens to this person in a very negative way.
I'll take a conflict of interest for 600, Alec.
However, within your contract, they must provide an opt-out opportunity. So go through your contract, email who you have to, send a letter to who you have to, and make sure you notify them that you're opting out. And make sure that you have a timestamp and a receipt notifying that that's when you sent that letter. Claiming routes. So if you're trying to earn money on Veho, you need to know when the routes are actually going to drop. And this is a scheduling opportunity. This isn't like you're on call all the time. So when you're claiming a route the night before, usually at 8 o'clock, the routes are going to drop all at the same time and you have to claim one. And make sure you act quickly because they can be picked up as quickly as they were dropped. Dollars to mile ratio. So the dollars to mile ratio is going to be a little challenging to understand for Veho because they don't tell you exactly how much you're going to be driving. They give you a general idea using that heat map, but they don't give you enough details in order for you to determine how much you're actually going to be driving. But always make sure you're making more money than you are driving miles. Bring a Sharpie. Listen to me. You are going to need to mark the packages while in the warehouse and sometimes while dropping them off. So you need to bring a Sharpie. It doesn't need to be a super thick Sharpie, but it is recommended. Checking in at the warehouse and ID verification. Usually when you check in at the warehouse, you could do everything within the app unless you are a new driver, in which case they need to check you in themselves to verify your ID and to make sure that you're not going to lose the routes that you went there to do. And if you don't go immediately to them to make sure you're checked in, you can end up losing the route that you have. So make sure you get there early enough so they can ID verify you at least the first time. Also, when you get to the warehouse, you're going to receive a vest. You need to wear that throughout the entirety of the route. From the moment you enter the warehouse to the moment you drop off your final package. New driver promo month. So when you're a new driver on Veho, you're going to get a full month's worth of early access to the routes before they even drop. So let's say the routes in your area drop at 8 o'clock, you'll see them at 7. During this period of time, you're going to want to capitalize on this so that way you get an idea, you get a feel for how these routes are going to be laid out and if you actually want to stick with this long term. You can make a lot of money during this month if you know where you're going and know why you want to go to certain places. So you're really going to want to capitalize on this month entire. Gated communities and security. If you're going to gated communities at all, the security guards are going to ID verify you on the way in, and they have to be able to get in contact with the customer in which you're delivering to. Keep in mind, Veho is not a specific company people order from. They're just in charge of delivering the packages. So sometimes you're going to get the dumbass that goes, what is it? What is the package coming in? And meanwhile, you don't know. It's a package. It's like asking the UPS guy what he's delivering. He doesn't know either. And then the security guards are dumber than rocks, so they're trying to weed the information out of you like, I don't know. Try to exude as much patience as possible. If they decline your entry, you just gotta bring it back and let them be punished for them being stupid. Returning packages. So when you are returning packages, whether it's for a gated community or a call box or whatever, you're going to have a form to fill out, and that form that you need is going to be vital for you. Because this way you can earn an extra $10, $15, $20 to actually return the packages. Yes, you're going to make money on the return too. So the form is actually on one of my videos talking about return packages, but we'll go over that later. Be okay with dropping the app. Remember, some markets are just not suited for some apps for all different reasons. Whether it's you're far away from the warehouse, or it's just not available in your market, or the people in your market are just not compatible with this type of work. There are a lot of places that completely discriminate against delivery drivers as a whole. So be okay with dropping the app if you have to, especially if you're working on an exit strategy. Because the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal, not the goal. And you're going to need to drop the least profitable apps for you. And if Veho is not doing it for you, be okay with just saying, hey, this isn't for me. Or you're using the time you would normally use for Veho and be like, all right, I'm going to commit this time to my exit strategy. So that's what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. So be okay with dropping the app, whether it's for profit reasons or for a new opportunity that you're looking to capitalize on. Although for those who are planning on sticking with Veho, I made a full playlist on Veho to make sure anybody and everybody knows how to maximize the opportunity as a new driver. I will leave the masterclass in the description. Feel free to check that out. Did I miss anything? Is there something else about being a new driver on Veho that I have yet to cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that anybody and everybody that needs to know anything and everything about Veho knows what to do, and they can make the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.